Welcome to Beyond The Chord with me, Cara.
And me, Malba.
Join us each week where we will talk about the ups and downs of being songwriters over the age of 40 and what it's really like juggling motherhood, menopause and keeping that creative spark alive. As if that wasn't enough, each week we will write a new song together and perform it live on the podcast. So get comfy, grab a cuppa and let's dive in. Well, hello, Malba. Here we are again.
Hello, Cara. We are.
You came back?
Absolutely, I came back.
Is it because the chat was on fire last week?
Can I just say, I did not realise how funny we are.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. That could have just been a one-off, and it might have just been us that found it funny.
Well, that is true.
So I'm gonna kick things off with how was your week?
Oh Lord, how was my week?
That good?
A really tough week.
Oh.
And I suppose, yeah, just, you know what it's like when you get stuck in your own head, and it's sometimes not a very happy place.
Oh dear.
But that's okay because it's all part of the process, I think. And as a good friend of mine, Melissa, once said, it's all good copy.
Copy or coffee?
Copy. I don't drink coffee. I only drink decaf tea. Oh yeah, I am a complete liar.
I knew it.
Because, I can't believe I said that it's been a really tough week. Maybe if you just said, how was your day? I would have said that. However, I had an amazing weekend with all my friends in Edinburgh, all the ladies, which, you know, we very rarely all get together, and it was a minor miracle or a major miracle that we managed to do that. So some of us got up together on Friday night, and then on Saturday we got up and I gave them all a lovely sound bath, and then we all went out for dinner. So there was 11 of us, and the chat was very deep very quickly. And then to top that off, I came home in the middle of Saturday into Sunday to then get the train to Edinburgh with Cara and her school choir, led by the wonderful Lou, where we got to hang out backstage at the Queen's Hall in Edinburgh.
Ooh.
And then the choir got to perform for Corinne Polwart.
So you were rubbing shoulders with the Folky slabs?
Well, I was crying within about 5 minutes because the first song when we all came in was I'm Gonna Do It All by Corinne Polwart, and that song really means a lot to me because it was the song I used to audition for for being a songwriter.
Amazing.
I know, right? I was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, please, God, please let me have the courage to go up and say to her, I'm a songwriter because of that song.
Did you?
Even though it was about the kids and it wasn't about me. But no, I did.
Oh, good. That's good.
But the kids got to perform 2 songs for her, and then she sang with them as well. And it was just really wonderful of her and very generous. And then we watched her concert, and during the concert she got the choir to sing with her on the song.
Aww.
And a few people had come up at the end and said, you know, that really made it for us, just here and there. And you know what it's like when you hear children singing, like everybody was in bits. So I take back the fact that I've had a really hard week.
Yeah, that sounds quite nice to me.
But maybe it was the fact that it was such an amazing weekend that, you know, I was a bit distraught after having such an amazing weekend. So yeah, it just shows you have to really
Dig deep.
Yeah, dig deep. Dig a bit deeper than the surface of I've had a terrible day with brain fog and terrible chat and all that. What about you? How's your week been?
Well, let me tell you how my week has been. So my almost 3-year-old has a habit at the moment of visiting us at 3 a.m. usually. And now some nights, you know, it's obvious she's had a nightmare or something, so she's quite upset. So, you know, I don't mind being dragged out of bed. Literally. To give her a cuddle and to kind of soothe her. And you can usually settle her back to sleep if that's happened. But on the nights when she has just decided to get up for no reason and make her entrance into our room, she opens that door and slams it against the wall to announce her arrival, and then wanders in like two tellies tam. I'm not joking. Rolls up her wee pyjama sleeves, sidles on up to the bed, stands inches from my face, and I swear it's almost like she turns around and says, "Ma, sleep's for losers. Get up."
That would terrify you if it was in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And then, you know, if that doesn't work, she climbs into the bed and she starts, you know, patting her tiny wee palm on your head. "Ma, sit up now." And then you get up and you're like, "No, you're going back to bed," right? And you try and get hold of her, and she does that thing where she turns into an octopus. And you're like, "Oh!" You can't get hold of her because she's just all of a sudden jelly. And then so you try and like wrestle her back to her room, and eventually it takes about 4 hours to get her back to sleep. And you get back to bed and it's like 5 to 7 and the alarm goes up at 7 and you've just cursed the day.
You're raging.
So I've had a lot of that this week.
That sounds like a tough week.
Mm-hmm. So
can you dig a little deeper?
I have to dig deep just to get through the day. So that's how my week has been.
Oofed.
But it's all good. So following on from last week.
Yeah.
Do you remember we had a menopause fact?
We did. I was telling everybody about that at the weekend, and they couldn't believe it either, and thought it was just the best fact ever.
If it's true.
About menopause, if there is such a thing.
Exactly.
Because it's so much fun.
So much fun.
Because we're reframing.
Obviously. Well, you know, I feel like it's really important that we should put in the caveat that these are unverified facts, and that should maybe make it into our theme tune. Unverified fact, menopause fact, whatever. We'll work on that.
What is the fact then?
For this week. Oh, it's a belter. Right, so according to the World Wide Web.
Right. Internet.
Internet, that reliable source of information. There are only 5 species on the planet that go through menopause.
No.
Well,
You are a mine of menopause information.
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 Information. True, it's unverified. So if there are any experts listening, medical professionals who actually have a speciality in menstruation and menopause, you might want to just get in touch and tell us if we're talking absolute nonsense. But anyway, the 5 species, according to the World Wide Web, humans, well, human females, obviously.
Is that us?
That's us, by the way.
Just saying.
Let me just check my notes. Killer whales. Pilot whales, whatever they are.
Oh,
Do they fly planes?
I don't know.
Beluga whales, are you sensing a theme?
Oh no, I'm not sure I like this, where this is going.
And then the unicorn of the sea, the narwhal.
No way.
Yeah. And there's like a whole hypothesis around why they go through the menopause like us. Are you ready for this?
I'm not sure if I am, because that's already blown my mind. Right, what is it?
So there's a hypothesis called the grandmother hypothesis.
Oh.
And apparently what that means is that these species forfeit their ability to reproduce so that they can help their daughters raise their offspring. Not their sons. Just their daughters.
No way.
Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
I know. I was quite
And
taken
it's funny
aback by
how it's
that. And it
just
makes
all
sense.
Whales and...
I mean, it's just
whales and women.
Whales and women. Whales and women. Aye. We have a lot, yeah.
A lot in common.
A lot in common. Who
Got
knew?
more in common with whales at the moment than I would like. But hey, that's for another episode.
Who knew?
I did not know that.
And it does make sense if you think about it.
It does.
Well, I know from my experience, I've got young kids and my mum helps me out quite a lot
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, and my mum did when she was alive.
Yeah.
For sure. I know, but do you know what I find really... Here was like a really scary thing. Not when my mum passed away, obviously, that wasn't scary. Well, it was scary, but anyway. But the crazy realisation that I was now the matriarch of the family.
Oh, that's a big title.
And then I was like, God help us all. God help us. But there is a real sense of, oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's up to me to be like the wise one.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Oh no. So I wouldn't say I've grown into that role yet, but
There's still time.
there's still time.
There's still time.
I've still got another day, maybe.
Till you become a grandma.
Oh no, listen, don't be talking about that just yet.
So what does it mean then? If you're now the matriarch, say your mum is still alive, what would she be? The grand matriarch.
No, I think the matriarch. Well, maybe need to Google this. I think like the matriarch is like the female head of the family.
Right.
So, I mean, again, unverified.
Just made up.
I know, and I'm saying, oh no, I'm now the matriarch, and I'm not actually on. A bit like menopause last week. I'm not actually sure what that means for me or for the world. But I think it is. It's like the female head. So that's like when they say matriarchal societies. Because there are such things as matriarchal societies where
Wonder
the
what that
women
would
make
be
all
like.
the decisions.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be like.
I did watch a programme many years ago about it. I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
Brain fog.
Or if it, but I think it was around what you're saying about the whales, that it was, it takes a village to raise children or something, whatever that phrase is.
Well, that brings us quite nicely into our question of the week.
What's our question of the week?
Do we need a theme tune for that too?
We do. I think we do.
Right.
Not that. Something much better.
Have you found your village in your musical career?
Oh. So, dig a little deeper in that question and explain it a wee bit more to me. Have I found my village tribe in my songwriting friends? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like when you're carving out this career, this music career, this songwriting career, you're not doing it on your own, are you?
No.
So, have you found your people, your support network, who, who act as that sounding board, who act as that support, that encouragement, that kind of to work within the parameters of that, so you're not just wandering in the wilderness.
Well, I do wander I like to wander lonely in the wilderness quite a lot, as you well know.
I know. Well, yeah. You tried to invite me into wandering into the wilderness of cold water, which I did not enjoy or partake in. Actually,
I know, but you still got up and came.
I stood by the side, yes,
and cheered us on. And sometimes
see. There you go. I was your support network.
You were like,
in that scenario.
When they have like the Tour de France and all the people that help support. Yes, I have, and definitely for me, what I find I need the most in terms of that support from fellow songwriters is just that reminder to be seen as a songwriter.
Right.
And that for me a lot of the time is when I can't see it myself. And, you would say to me, like, of course you're a songwriter, or other songwriter. So you're just seen as a songwriter. And I think for me as well, Sunday songwriting and Song Seeds was a massive part of that, even though I didn't really feel that, I thought I was some kind of imposter, not a real songwriter in amongst all these amazing songwriters. But I definitely think for me as a songwriter, I need that reminder much more than, I'm not going to say much more than I should, because it's part of who I am.
Yeah. And
there's part of me that but accepts that I like a wee dander out into the lonely wilderness, feeling a wee bit sorry for myself, and that's okay too. It has its place. But definitely and I think that it's not just from a songwriting point of view, but from a friend point of view, or from a human being point of view, is that we can always see in someone else what we can't see in ourselves.
That's true.
So, and I think that's really important to have people around you to remind you of that. What about you? What have you got? A songwriter village?
I didn't think that I did for a very long time, actually, because I was quite happy just doing it by myself. So when I wrote my album last year, or the year before, when was it? Last year. It was last year. Yeah, I know. What day is it? I did that mostly by myself, in terms of the writing aspect of it. So when it came to the recording and the promotion and all the other things that go around trying to put a release out, I had to try and go and find people, because I had been so used to doing it all myself. But what I realised in that was, not only is it lonely, which it is, and that makes it harder to keep motivation going, you're doing yourself a disservice by not opening up that creative part to other people, to challenge yourself and to hold up that mirror and to be like, oh, well, wait a minute, I didn't really see that before, or I'm good at that. So there we go. I've realised my strength, but there's a lot of work to do over there. And that only really came when we went to Song Seeds, and just to explain what that is for people who've never heard of it. Song Seeds is a songwriting retreat that was held 3 times in 2023. that right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
January,
going
May
since
and September.
2021.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there in September this year with Malpa and a group of other very talented songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't write as much as I thought I would, and I didn't perform as much as I thought I would. I held myself back a lot on that retreat, which surprised me because I was all for like a whole week of just going nuts on the songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually really reserved, but I had to be. I had to just feel it out because I'm not used to being in that situation with other creative people so intensely.
Yeah.
And it was intimidating for me. So having the opportunity to write with you really opened up a whole new world for me, and that was the start of me finding my people, I think.
Wow.
Don't cry.
I'm going to try not cry, and I'm going to try not sing a whole new world.
How could you not sing that?
No,
I mean, I was
couldn't
just
help
asking
myself.
for it.
I could not help myself. I actually had to like hold my lips together, but I did it anyway. But I think that's like, for me, to hear you say, you know, from knowing you, I suppose, pre-song seeds,
Yeah.
and knowing, you know, and I think that's why we get on so well as well, is that we are, in some ways, obviously we're the same because we're all one and all that, but, you know, we are total, like, we're really different in the sense that, you know, you did do the whole album yourself, you had creative control over it, and for me, looking at you doing that, I'm like, oh, I wish I could, you know, I hold myself back by going, well, I don't really know how to arrange, and I don't really know how my song would sound as a full song.
Yeah.
But seeing you do that, I'm just like, oh, I would love to be able to do that. But now actually hearing you say, you know, how reserved you were there, and how, you know, you are someone who is, and I mean this in a good way, like you're measured, you know, you have a good think about whether that's going to be right for you or not. And I really admire that quality, because I'm usually like, I dive in and then go, oh no, what did I do that for? Do you know what I mean? But to hear you say that, how much you realised what a difference it makes having that tribe, and being able to, you know, because I just keep thinking, oh my God, what if we hadn't collaborated that day?
I know. What would have happened?
That, you know, that song wouldn't have came into being, and that's what, you know, freaks me out every single time someone produces a piece of work. You know, doesn't matter what it is. But what if we hadn't collaborated that day? This wouldn't be happening.
We wouldn't
now.
be here. That's
we wouldn't
true.
be here. And I know how massive that is for you to have that realisation. And again, I think it comes back to, I can see in you what a great I could see in you what a great collaborator you already were, but I don't think you really saw that.
I had no idea. And this realisation that you've just spoken about literally just came to me here.
Da, da, da. Oh, we need like an EastEndery
bit. Yeah, no, that was just
Did that just come
just
to you
came
there?
to me there. Yeah, I didn't do much.
That's
you
deep.
know, I didn't dig very deep on the songwriting so on the retreat. It just came. This is the place where I dig deep.
But this is the place that I think we feel safe enough to dig deep, even though we're sharing it with the world, which I think sometimes you have to say, well, you know, not everything always goes amazing, and, you know, not everything's all shiny all the
That's
time.
true. And, you know, for the people out there What sort of advice would you give people who are like in this position where they're trying to do it on their own, but they want to find kindred spirits and people who could support them and hold the mirror up so they can see what's good and what needs work?
I think that's a really interesting one, because as we were talking about that, and I was talking about Sunday songwriting, and I remember the day that I was like, right, I'm going to put my big girl pants on and I am going to actually write a song and share it at 5:00 that night. Right. So again, it was that sense of urgency. You had no time to really overthink it.
Sorry to jump in here, but to explain what Sunday songwriting is.
So Sunday songwriting was during lockdown, and there would be a brief every week, and then you would come together on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Because it was
funny that.
Sunday songwriting. And, you could share or not share what you'd done. And, one of the songs that's going on my album is called Bone Woman. And it might
that song.
Well, it might actually be the title of the album. I wrote that song that day. But what the advice I would, on one hand, yeah, my advice can be patchy at best. But what I have learned, for sure, I wouldn't say it's advice, but what I have learned from that whole experience of, and like you, I would say, feeling more comfortable in your own skin as, for us as songwriters, but is just to be a bit more cara, be a bit more measured and not feel that you have to, breathe in all the time. Or for me, a lot of that becomes really overwhelming. It's, if there's more than 3 people in a WhatsApp group, I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So it's about finding your own way through, not the overwhelm, but just going, do you know what? It's okay. I can find my own way through it. And, you don't have to look at it as this big, massive thing that you're never going to be part of, because they all know each other and you think, I'm never going to find my own tribe. Again, I think it comes back to just surrendering that a wee bit and just letting that go. That is a really long, rambly answer for probably not much actual advice, but I think I think that's going to be, that could be like maybe we could have a jingle for the ramble.
Maybe we could. I mean, this podcast is jam-packed, full of jingles. Jam-packed.
I just think it would be find your own way and not overthink it. But that again is easier said than done. What about you? What advice would you give?
I'd say be a wee bit more Malba and just honestly, like, just
Lord.
Sign up to a songwriting group. There's loads on Facebook, all over Facebook. Join one of those, share one of your songs, get a bit of feedback, see who's actually feeding back, and then chat with them. See if you vibe, as the young'uns say. Oh God, that makes me sound ancient. As the young'uns say. Might cut that.
Leave it in.
Or even go along to, even like sign up for a retreat.
Oh,
like just do it and see what comes of it, because you might have realizations like I have this evening.
Yeah.
Or they might happen actually there when they're meant to.
No, but I think that's the thing. They're not meant to come at any time. I think it's
just about taking that chance, though. If it's something that you really want to do and you've been thinking about doing it, what are you waiting for, really? Nobody's going to come along and tell you now's your time.
Yeah.
It's within you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, let's be clear. Nobody's coming.
Nobody's coming. Which is a really depressing note to kind of to wrap
but
this
I just
up on.
mean
But
nobody's coming in the sense that, you know, that some magical person's going to come along and go, oh, you're an amazing songwriter. Here's whatever, you know. Here's
a sync deal.
Here's a sync deal. Here's a record deal. You know, and I think when we were younger, or not that I ever really allowed myself to believe that, you know, that was never even in my consciousness of being a musician or a songwriter. But the person that you're waiting for is looking at you in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? That's the person that's coming. Yeah, that's the person that is always with you. Yeah, that will never leave you. And that always kind of blows my mind that, you know, we always look outside for somebody to fix us or heal us or whatever it is, but actually, you know, the answers are right there.
Which leads us really nicely into the song of the week.
Song of the week. I
knew that was coming.
Could you just tell on my face?
Yep.
I was like, what can I do? Song of the week. I know. Like, you'll just need to rein me in and you know, be a bit less Melba maybe.
Be more Melba. Be more Melba. Yes, our song of the week this week, which we wrote today, this evening.
We did.
Is called Fragile Heart. And it's I like the words. The words are good.
Oh. And I think yeah, we were like, oh, you know, we did so well in week one. Where are we going to be able to build?
Where do we take this?
I know. The only way is up. I was just going to date myself there. I'm just not.
The only way is up, baby.
Right, we are ladies of a certain generation. Yeah, and for me, what I think makes it so special for us is that we are collaborating in real time.
Yeah.
We are performing it live and unedited and raw, and for me that's really important.
Absolutely.
So
here we are. This is Fragile Heart. searching for a hand to hold, and I'm breathing, oh, I'm healing, oh, and it's magical. These roots will grow, and I'll find my home. These roots will grow in my fragile heart.
That's it for this week's episode of Beyond the Chord. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did making it, and join us next week for more chat and tunes. And in the meantime, if you want to send us your thoughts, you can follow us on Instagram at Beyond the Chord. We would love to hear from you. Until next time.